All right. So are you ready to kind of look into this whole money thing in a new way? We're going to really get into why so many people struggle with money. And it's not just, bad luck or anything.
Yeah, those sources you gave me, they really make you think.
Right. Like, did you see that stat about how many Americans can't even cover a $500 emergency?
Yeah, that's wild. Like 60% can't.
It's crazy. So many people are like right on the edge. One little thing goes wrong and bam, financial crisis. I mean, could you even imagine?
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How quickly things could fall apart for a lot of people. And it's not even just about like making it to the next paycheck.
Yeah, that's what it gets me. It's like people working their whole lives, putting in the time, the effort.
They end up broke in retirement.
Exactly. It's like, what's the point? Like, we're all stuck on this treadmill going nowhere. So what's the deal? Why are so many people caught in this, like, this cycle of never getting ahead?
Well, one of the things that really stands out from all the stuff we've looked at is this idea that there's almost like a system in place.
Whoa, hold on. A system designed to, like, keep people struggling. That's a big claim.
Yeah, it's kind of out there, but that's what all this points to.
Okay, so walk me through this. What does this system even look like?
Well, it all starts with this thing, I'm going to call it the time for money trap.
Catchy.
So most people trade their time, right, for a limited income. So you work, whatever, 40 hours a week and get a set paycheck. And the thing is, time, we all have the same amount. You can't make more time.
Never figured out how to add more hours to the day. Wish I could.
Exactly. So if you're relying on your time, your income is always going to be limited. You hit a ceiling.
Okay, I get that. But how does this connect to the whole system thing?
Well, the system, the whole economy really, it's built on this whole idea of people exchanging their time for money. It's how companies make money, how things work, right? But you look at really wealthy people and they're not playing that game.
So they found a way to escape, like hack the system.
Pretty much, yeah. They build systems that make them money like 24/7, even while they sleep. It's not about how many hours they put in.
So it's not about working harder. It's about working differently.
Exactly. They're not trading time for money anymore. Like Jeff Bezos, right? He's not out there delivering every Amazon package.
I mean, sure you could, but
Right. But he built a system that does it for him. So is that the key? Building something that works for you even when you're not working?
I mean, it's starting to sound that way. So they're building businesses, investments, things that kind of generate income without them having to be there every second.
You got it. It's called leverage creating assets that give you passive income. That's income that keeps flowing in regardless of how many hours you're putting in. It's a whole different way of thinking about money.
Okay, so now I'm starting to see how this whole system works. It's not just about how we earn, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was something in one of the articles about lifestyle inflation. Something about how even when people start making more money, they often end up right back where they started.
Yeah. Lifestyle inflation, that's a sneaky one. It's almost like as you start earning more, you kind of unconsciously start spending more too.
So like you get a raise and suddenly you need a nicer car or a
What?
bigger apartment.
It happens. And it makes sense in a way, right? You feel good, like, I earned this raise, I deserve to enjoy it.
Totally. But you end up back in the same place,
Yeah.
still living paycheck to paycheck.
Yep. Just with nicer stuff. It's almost like we're programmed to stay trapped.
And it gets even crazier when you think about like the education system.
Mm.
What are we really learning about money in school?
Yeah, think about it. They don't exactly teach us about like personal finance, investing, or starting a business, do they?
Nope. Definitely not part of the curriculum.
So it's like we're being trained to be good employees, not to like really understand how money works.
Yeah, to be part of that system we were just talking about.
Exactly. It's almost like we're taught to work for money, but not how to make money work for us.
Yeah.
Wild, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But hey, the stuff we've been reading, it offers some solutions, right? Like some actual ways to break out of this whole cycle.
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to get into next.
All right, so we've talked about those traps, right? Trading time for money, lifestyle inflation, and how school doesn't really teach us about money. But how do we actually break free from all that? Like, how do we start building real wealth?
Well, all the stuff you sent me, it's got some really good ideas, actually. But it all starts with like a mindset shift. Instead of thinking, how can I earn more?
Yeah.
You got to think, how can I create more income
Right,
streams?
from not just relying on one paycheck, right? You
Right.
need to like diversify.
Exactly. And one of the books, The Millionaire Fastlane, it talks about building like high income skills.
So like figure out what you're good at and what you like.
Yeah. Turn those skills into a side hustle or maybe even a whole business.
That makes me think of that article you sent about passive income. investing in things that make money, like without you having to constantly work.
Yes. Building wealth that works for you, even when you're not working. That's a huge part of that.
Okay, passive income sounds amazing, but investing always seems so complicated to me. Like, where do you even begin?
One of the books you gave me, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it does a really good job of explaining the whole asset versus liability thing. It's all about like understanding how money works, right?
Yeah, I remember that book talking about how rich people buy assets and poor people buy liabilities.
Right.
But what does that even mean in real life?
So think of an asset as something that puts money in your pocket, like it's working for you, even when you're not. A classic example would be real estate.
Okay, so like you buy a rental property.
Right. You rent it out, and those rent payments, that's passive income.
So your money's making money while you sleep.
Right.
That's pretty cool. What else counts as an asset?
Stocks are another good one. You're basically buying a little piece of a company, right? If the company does well, the value of your stock goes up. And you can also earn dividends. That's like getting paid from the company's profits.
So it's about putting your money into things that grow in value over time instead of spending it on, clothes and stuff that loses value.
Yeah. Think like an investor, not just a consumer.
Okay, that makes sense. And investing doesn't have to be like this big scary thing, right?
Not at all. You can start small, buy a few shares of stock, or check out real estate crowdfunding. There's lots of options.
So we've talked about income streams, investing in assets.
Yeah.
What else can we do to like break free?
Investing in yourself is huge. Educate yourself about, personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship. There are tons of resources out there. Books, podcasts, online courses.
You're totally right. I think a lot of us avoid learning about money because it seems complicated or like scary.
It can seem like that, but really the more you understand, the less scary it gets.
And the more control you have, right, over your own money.
Exactly. Another thing you got to be mindful of your spending.
So like budgeting, cutting back on unnecessary stuff.
It's not about being totally strict, but think about where your money's going. Do you really need that fancy coffee every day or that new gadget?
It's so easy to just spend without thinking. But when you actually pay attention to where your money's going, you can make better choices, right? Choices that help you reach your goals.
That's it. And the last piece of this puzzle is simple but important. Take action.
So no more procrastinating, no more excuses.
Exactly. Even small steps over time make a big difference. Open a savings account, look into some investments, come up with a side hustle idea. Just start moving in the right direction.
I love that. It's about taking control, making a decision to like create a better future. This has all been super inspiring, but like, is it really this simple? Can anyone achieve financial freedom, or is that just a dream?
Yeah.
Is it just a dream, or can anyone really reach that like financial freedom?
It's a good question. And yeah, it comes up in a lot of this stuff we've been going through. I think based on all this, it really is possible for, pretty much anyone. It's not about like winning the lottery or being born rich.
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people listening might be feeling kind of overwhelmed right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about so much. Side hustles, investing, changing your mindset. It's a lot. Where do you even start?
You're right. It can definitely feel like a lot. Remember that stat we talked about how many people can't handle a small emergency?
Yeah, that 60% stuck with me.
It's easy to see that and feel like, what's the point? Like the system's too big to change.
Yeah, like you're just stuck,
But here's the thing I really want people to take away from all of this. You are not powerless. You really do have the power to change things. You're not stuck. You've got choices. And every choice you make, every little thing you do, it moves you closer to your goals or, further away.
So we can't just sit around and wait for things to change. We have to actually, like, do something.
Yep. The Millionaire Fastlane, that book, it talks about how important it is to take action. Get in the driver's seat, Stop waiting for the right time or the perfect opportunity.
Just get started, even if it's like a tiny step.
Exactly. What's that one thing you could do today to start moving in the right direction?
Like maybe finally opening that savings account you've been thinking about.
That's a good one. Or maybe it's picking up one of those books and really digging in.
Or even just writing down your goals, like actually putting them on paper.
Exactly. Get the ball rolling, get some momentum going. You'd be surprised what happens when you decide to take control.
That's such a good point. It really all starts with just like making a decision, right?
Yeah.
Decision to break free and build a better life for yourself.
That's it. And the cool thing is there's so much help out there. Resources, strategies. You don't have to figure it all out on your own.
So to everyone listening, remember this. You can do this. Financial freedom isn't some fantasy. It's a real possibility.
Just take that first step.
And that's it for our deep dive. Thanks for joining us.